bit of a tough one, that one. It wouldn't start or run at the start, so couldn't get it to fire, and then wouldn't run down pit lane. So I think there was a fault in the ECU, and then on our laps it was reading 75% power. So unfortunately we can't look at the data with how NASCAR works and all that sort of stuff compared to supercars, but yeah, from the data we had 75% power out there. So we'll have a look after and see if that's the case.
Did that issue get resolved by the end, or is it still something you guys are trying to fix?
We're not sure right now. They thought in the data it got resolved, but after looking at it, they're still just trying to work it out.
All right.
What's been your experience now? When you were in here yesterday, you haven't been in the car yet.
Yeah, no, yesterday we ran really well. I think then I put together a good lap, and I was surprised to see where we finished. But it's one of those things we're a bit unsure after that throttle, and there was a fault there, so we don't know yet what sort of happened.
Were you surprised by how much quicker the track was today and the qualifying times were today than practice yesterday?
No, not really, to be honest. I felt that the track was pretty similar to yesterday, and it was a little bit hotter, but I think that similar times, it didn't surprise me at all.
You feel comfortable? I mean, after 50 minutes?
Yeah, I feel comfortable in the car. It's not a drama. Ready to race it. Just a little bit disappointed with that qualifying and what happened in it.
Are there on your qualifying laps, were there some turns you thought you were doing really well, and other places you thought you could improve upon?
Yeah, there's always places you can improve on a qualifying lap. You always look back on it. Very rarely do you do just a perfect lap. You think, I wish I just did a little bit better here, but it was just a bit of a messy session, to be honest, for us.
Kyle Larson mentioned that you two had been talking. What's it been like kind of picking the brains of the drivers over here and learning what the Cup Series is all about?
Yeah, I just wanted to meet Kyle, to be honest. He's a bit of a legend. I got to chat with him, and it's been great speaking with those guys and meeting everyone. We watch a lot of it now since Shane coming over here, so to put faces to names and all that sort of stuff has been awesome. But I just chatted to Kyle about how we generally run a session in Australia, and we run sessions generally different. We wouldn't roll out at the start after a touring car race before us. We would expect there'd be oil and that on the track, so we'd roll a bit later, which was what our plan was until we sort of had that little bit of a hiccup in pit lane.
Is there any further brain picking going on with the potential to get to the front? What are these wheels starting to turn as far as your strategy for moving up to the front?
Yeah, I'm not sure just yet, to be honest. We haven't really. That was going to be our plan this afternoon and tomorrow morning. Run through strategy. You sort of got to know where you finished up in qualifying to start working your strategy out. But I think we'll run through that tomorrow and see what strategy we have.
Just so you know, useless stat. Kyle Busch is one here from 32nd. Juan Pablo Montoya is one also from 30th.
Perfect. That's
so it is possible.
No, thank you.
Is there any other interaction with it that you enjoy talking to or anything?
Yeah, I've been talking to Austin a lot in my team. He's been really good to talk with. Corey LaJoy, that's been great, and also Kyle as well. So it's been cool to meet those guys. In Australia we're here pretty early at the track, where it seems like these guys turn up and just jump in the car. So not heaps of time to interact with them, but it's still been cool to meet a few.
And how about the fan response to you?
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's actually been very surprising how many people over here watch supercars and are interested in it. So that's been great. I had a fair few people come up and say they've been watching us racing over there this year, and doing autographs and all that sort of stuff. So it's been cool to see how many people are excited about the Australians coming over.
Will you be watching the Xfinity race that's about to start closely? First of all, Shane's in there, but also just to see what drivers are doing and get more data for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching the Xfinity race, seeing just where the passing opportunities are, how they do it. I'll probably go up with Richard and watch up the top just to get a bit of an idea. But I think it's just cool. I'm over here. I might as well watch it as well. I'm keen to just sit there and watch the race. But as much as I can learn from watching that, listening to the spotters and everything will be a bonus.
Right, thank you, Will.
What do Australian fans think of all you guys coming over here? Are they interested in it? They like it? Are they skeptical about it?
Yeah, they love NASCAR. I think they're skeptical that we're all trying to leave and come over here. It's been interesting. But I'm sure everyone back at home was watching this morning to see how me and Cam went. I think a few of them will be disappointed, unfortunately, after we had a bit of a tough run. But there's a lot of people from Australia every Monday morning, and when Shane's racing, everyone's logging on and watching NASCAR and talking about it back at the shop.
And Supercars is sponsoring both you and Cam. Do you think it's good that the category gets behind you two coming over here?
Yeah, it's really cool for Supercars to put investment behind me and Cam and want us to come over here. It's been great, and I think the biggest thing for Supercars is a lot of NASCAR fans watching Supercars, so it's working with that side of it. But we'd love to get one or two of of these guys out and race against us in Australia and see how they go over there.
And then Shane's talked about how when Marcus Ambrose was running here, NASCAR was all over the place in Australia, New Zealand. So kind of back at home, what was it like? Just the reactions when he pulled off that win in Chicago last year.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. A lot of us, thought he had it in him. That's a lot of the tracks we race on. They're concrete walls. You can't make a mistake, and it was wet. It was drying. It had all the things that's generally happening in Australia. So. Yeah, I think that was probably the biggest race nearly globally watching him. There were so many people logging on from all around the world and categories. I think everyone was excited to see how he went there.
Okay.